Dear students, today's topic of my lecture, motion in a plane, part 4. So what you have to learn in the part 4? The first is relative velocity, then product of two vectors and they are dot or scalar product and their properties, then cross or vector product and their properties. So one by one, you see that the first I will explain relative velocity by using the vector algebra. So first you understand what is the relative velocity. When the velocity of an object is measured with respect to an object which is at rest or in motion, then the velocity measured is known as relative velocity. So for that purpose, we consider two objects, say A and B, with velocities VA vector and VB vector respectively. You see that here in the diagram, VA vector and VB vector. Now to find the relative velocity of the object, say A, with respect to the object B, then the velocity minus VB vector is superimposed on the object B so as to bring it to rest. Means whenever you have to calculate the relative velocity of one object with respect to another object, then the object which you are taking with respect to that has to bring to the rest, and that we have to bring by adding its negative velocity so that it comes to the rest position. And you see here in the diagram, so this is the minus v vector and you superimpose this onto the a vector. So now you see that a vector and the va vector and minus vb vector, they are in the same order and represented by the two sides of the triangle. So their resultant is represented by the third side of the triangle. And if we draw a parallelogram, then by the diagonal we can get the resultant, and that resultant is known as relative velocity of object A with respect to the object B. You see here. So that we can write VAB vector. Its meaning is that relative velocity of A object with respect to B, which is equal to VA vector minus VB vector according to the vector's law of triangle. So mathematically what we are writing, VAB vector equal to VA vector plus minus VB vector. That is the addition of negative vector of velocity of the object B. That is the relative velocity of A object with respect to the B object is equal to the vector sum of velocity of A vector and negative velocity of B vector. So we can write VAB vector equal to VA vector minus VB vector. Now how you can find out the magnitude and direction of the relative velocity in terms of the magnitude and the angle theta between them? Simple, you have to apply the triangle's law of vector addition. The same concept that we have to use it here. Now you can see here, this is the given velocity of the A vector, that is represented by VA vector. Another object B whose velocity is VB vector. For finding the relative velocity of A object with respect to the B object, the first of all what we have to do, we take the negative velocity of B vector, that is minus VB vector, and superimpose onto the VA vector. You can see here. Now VA vector and minus VB vector, they are represented by two adjacent sides of the parallelogram. Then their resultant is represented by the diagonal drawn from the initial point of these vectors, which is the relative velocity of A vector with respect to B vector. After that, we apply the formula of parallelogram law of vector addition, that is for the resultant. From that formula, we can find out the magnitude, and when we calculate tan of angle, and that gives the direction of relative velocity of object A with respect to object B. Let us see how it happens. So now OA vector and OB vector are the two adjacent sides which are represented by VA vector and minus VB vector. Initially, the angle between VA vector and VB vector is theta. Now, when we are taking minus VB vector superimpose onto the VA vector, then the angle between them is 180 degree minus theta. Draw the parallel lines of OA and OB, then it becomes a parallelogram. Draw a diagonal, and this diagonal will give the relative velocity of object A with respect to object B, that is VAB vector. If we say that this VAB vector makes an angle alpha with VA vector, then this angle alpha will give you the direction of relative velocity of object A with respect to object B. So you see that VA vector, VAB vector equal to VA vector minus VB vector, and the magnitude of VAB vector that we calculate by using the formula for the resultant from parallelogram law vector addition. So from that formula, it becomes VAB equal to under root VA square plus VB square plus 2VA VB cos 180 minus theta. Now simplify it, then you will get VAB equal to under root VA square plus VB square minus 2VA VB cos theta. The direction of the vector VAB is tan alpha equal to VB sin theta upon VA minus VB cos theta. Means VB sin 180 minus theta upon VA minus VB cos 180 minus theta. So sin 180 minus theta is sin theta and cos 180 minus theta is cos theta. So by this expression, we can find out the direction of VAB vector. That is the direction of relative velocity of object A with respect to object B. Now if the two objects are moving along the same straight line, for example, we say that the two trains are moving parallel to each other in the same direction. So in that condition, the angle theta that becomes 0. So when the angle theta that becomes 0, then by this expression, VAB equal to under root VA square plus VB square minus 2VA VB cos 0. Cos 0 is 1. So it becomes VAB equal to under root VA minus VB whole square. Simplify it, then what you will get? VAB equal to VA minus VB. So in that condition, what we observe that when we are sitting in one train and another train is traveling parallel to our train and in the same direction, then it appears that that train's speed is slow as comparison to our train. That is because of the relative velocity of one object with respect to another object. So in that case, the expression comes VAB equal to VA minus VB. But if they are moving in the opposite direction, means the two trains are moving in opposite direction. So in that condition, the angle between them is 180 degree. So when you substitute here theta equal to 180 degree, then cos 180 is minus 1. So that's why minus minus that becomes plus. So this expression becomes VAB equal to under root VA plus VB whole square. Simplify it, then you will get VAB equal to VA plus VB. It means the velocity of the train which is moving away from our train, it appears to move faster than our train. That is because of this concept. So when the two objects are moving in the same direction, so at that time the relative velocity of one object with respect to the another object is the difference of individuals' relative velocity. Whereas when the two objects are moving in opposite direction, then the relative velocity of one object with respect to another object is the addition of individual velocities. So this is about relative velocity. Now the product of two vectors. In physics, generally there will be two types of the products of vector, and they are dot or scalar product, cross or vector product. So what are they? The first one is dot product or scalar product. Scalar or dot product of two vectors is always a scalar. Means when you are taking the dot product or scalar product of two vectors, that always comes scalar and is given by the product of magnitude of two vectors and cosine of angle between them. In dot product or the scalar product, the symbol of multiplication between the vectors is represented by a dot, which is shown here. So if we say that two vectors, say A vector and B vector, if we take its dot product, then what we say that it comes to be A vector dot B vector, which is equal to AB cos theta, and that is always a scalar. For example, we say that the dot product of force and displacement is equal to work done. So work is a scalar. So that is W equal to F vector dot S vector, which is scalar. So always you remember that the dot or scalar product of two vectors is always a scalar. Similarly, you take another example, power. Power is the dot product of force and velocity. That is P equal to F vector dot V vector. Now here we consider the two vectors, say A vector and B vector, making an angle theta with each other. You can see here in the diagram. Here we have taken two vectors, OP vector, which is represented by A vector, and OQ vector, which is represented by OV vector. They makes an angle theta with each other. Then we can write scalar or dot product A vector dot B vector equal to mod of A vector, mod of B vector, and cosine of angle between them, that is cos theta. So from here you can say that the cos theta equal to A vector dot B vector upon mod of A vector mod of B vector. So this is about scalar or dot product. Now properties of dot or scalar product. Dot product results in a scalar value, as I already explained you. Second one is dot product or scalar product is a commutative, means A vector dot B vector equal to B vector dot A vector. Dot or scalar product is a distributive, that is A vector dot within bracket B vector plus C vector can be written as A vector dot B vector plus A vector dot C vector. So it follows the distributive property. Now I cap dot I cap equal to 1, J cap dot J cap equal to 1, k cap dot k cap equal to 1. Because when you are taking a dot product of a vector with itself, then angle between them is 0. So that's why a vector dot b vector equal to ab cos 0, and cos 0 is 1. So a vector dot b vector equal to ab. Now if you take the dot product of a vector with itself, that is a vector dot a vector equal to a vector mod cos 0. So what you will get? You will get a vector dot a vector equal to a square. Similarly, when you take the dot product of unit vector with itself, then you will get I cap dot I cap equal to 1, j cap dot j cap equal to 1, k cap dot k cap equal to 1, because the magnitude of the unit vector is 1. Similarly, when you take the dot product of two unit vectors which are perpendicular, so theta is 90 degree, then cos 90 is 0. So that's why I cap dot j cap equal to 0, j cap dot k cap equal to 0, k cap dot I cap equal to 0. So you remember these properties which are very important. Now the component of a vector along b vector, as you have seen the diagram. So when you resolve the vector A along to the B vector, then what you will get? You will get the horizontal component of A vector, that is A cos theta, or you can write mod of A cos theta, which is equal to A vector dot B vector upon mod of B vector. So that we can write A vector dot B cap. B cap is the unit vector along the B vector. Similarly, the component of B vector along A vector is equal to mod of B vector cos theta, and that can be written as A vector dot B vector upon mod of A vector, which is equal to B vector dot A cap. A cap unit vector along A vector. Now dot product in terms of the Cartesian coordinates. So if we say that A vector equal to ax I cap plus ay j cap plus az k cap, and the second vector is b vector equal to bx I cap plus by j cap plus bz k cap. When we take the dot product of these two vectors, a dot b, a vector dot b vector, which comes to be ax bx plus ay by plus az bz, because I cap dot I cap is 1, I cap dot j cap is 0. Similarly, like that, j cap j dot j cap equal to 1, k cap dot k cap equal to 1, and the rest of vector that becomes 0. So that's why you will get a vector dot b vector equal to ax bx plus ay by plus az bz. And the next property, if you take the dot product of vector with itself, that is a vector dot a vector, that comes to be ax plus ay plus az, and that can be written as a square equal to ax square plus ay square plus az square. As I already explained you, when you are taking the dot product of a vector with itself, the angle between them is 0. Similarly, b vector dot b vector, that comes to be bx plus by plus bz, and that can also be written as b square equal to bx square plus by square plus bz square. So this is about dot product or scalar product and its properties. Now the cross product or the vector product. Vector or cross product of two vectors is always a vector, and its magnitude is given by the product of the magnitude of two vectors and sine of angle between them. Its direction is always perpendicular to the plane of two vectors. In vector product, the symbol of multiplication of vector is represented by cross, which is written here. So the difference between the scalar and dot cross product and vector product is, in scalar or dot product you are getting a scalar, but here you are getting a vector, and in scalar no direction, but here there is a direction. Now if we consider the two vectors, say a vector and b vector, make an angle theta with each other, you can see here this is a vector and this is b vector, and which is making angle theta with each other. Then the cross or vector product is given by a vector cross b vector equal to mod of a vector mod of b vector sine theta n cap, where n cap is the unit vector which is perpendicular to the plane containing the a vector and b vector. And from here we can write sine theta equal to mod of a vector cross b vector upon mod of a vector mod of b vector. A vector cross b vector means the vector A is rotated towards B and its effect is taken on B vector. You can see here in the diagram. If we take B vector cross A vector, then the rotation from B vector to A vector. Since here we are taking A vector cross B vector, means the vector A is rotated towards B and its effect we have to take onto the vector B. So by right hand thumb rule or the Maxwell screw rule, the direction of the resultant in this case is perpendicular to the plane and into the plane of the diagram. If we take B vector cross A vector, then the vector B is rotated towards A vector and its effect is taken on A vector. So in that condition, by using right hand thumb rule or the Maxwell screw rule, the direction of the resultant that will be perpendicular to the plane but out of the plane. You can see here, whatever I am telling you, the same thing is here. Now we take here one example which is very interesting example, how this clock cork screw rule that you are understanding, or the right hand thumb rule, due to the rotation clockwise and anti-clockwise, and how the inward and outward direction of resultant comes. So for that purpose, one example we take here, you can see here, closing and opening the tap is the best example to understand Maxwell cork screw rule or the right hand thumb rule. Now the properties of the cross or vector product. The first one is cross or vector product is anti-commutative because the direction is involved here. So that's why A vector cross B vector equal to minus B vector cross A vector. Second property is cross or vector product is distributive. That is A vector cross within bracket B vector plus C vector equal to A vector cross B vector plus A vector cross C vector. You can see here. Third property, cross or vector product of two perpendicular vectors, that is A vector plus B vector equal to AB sine 90 n cap. Sine 90 is 1, therefore A vector cross B vector equal to AB n cap. By using this concept, we have to make the identities, that is we have to write the cross product in terms of unit vectors. So for that purpose, you understand the rotation or the order which you are taking for the cross product. Here the one circle I draw here and written here the direction of rotation, just I, J, K. They are the unit vectors. So the order of cross product that we have to take: I cap cross j cap, then j cap cross k cap, and then take k cap cross I cap. Because if you take j cap cross I cap, since it is a anti-commutative, so negative sign will come. So that's why you remember it. So from here we can say that I cap cross j cap equal to k cap, means the direction of this cross product is perpendicular. So j cap cross k cap equal to I cap, k cap cross I cap equal to j cap, and if you write in the j cap cross I cap form, then it comes minus k cap because it is anti-commutative. Similarly, k cap cross j cap equal to minus I cap, and I cap cross k cap equal to minus j cap. The next fourth property is cross or vector product of a vector with itself. That is a vector cross a vector equal to a sine 0 n cap equal to 0 vector. Now fifth one is cross or vector product of two vectors parallel to each gives the magnitude. That is a vector cross b vector equal to ab sine 0 n cap. Then it comes to be a vector cross b vector equal to 0 vector, and the magnitude of the 0 vector is 0. So by using this concept we can say that I cap cross I cap equal to 0, j cap cross j cap equal to 0, k cap cross k cap equal to 0. Now the sixth property, that you have to take the cross product in terms of the Cartesian coordinates. So a vector equal to ax I cap plus ay j cap az k cap, and the b vector is bx I cap plus vy j cap plus vz k cap. So this cross product that you have to find by this method: a vector cross b vector, then write like that I cap j cap k cap, and the coefficient of the I cap j cap k cap you write here ax ay az bx by bz, right? So when you are calculating the value of the I cap, j cap and k cap, then how you can do it? Then you see here, when you calculate for I cap, then you hide this portion and then they take the order ay bz minus b by az. After that, if you want to continue the same order, then you write minus j cap. So for this purpose, earlier we are taking this that we have to hide. Now for calculating j cap, then we have to hide this one, and then we take the same order ax bz minus az bx. Now when you calculate for this k cap, then you hide this one, take the same order ax by minus a by bx. So this is about the cross product in terms of the Cartesian coordinates. Now we take some numericals and that you do practice. There are 6 numericals I have mentioned here, and these 6 numericals you have to do. Apply the concept which you have learned here and solve these numericals. If you like my video, then like it, subscribe it, press the bell icon. Stay safe, stay healthy, learn physics by my YouTube channel. Thank you and have a nice day.